Alright guys, so I just showed you foam rolling and trigger pointing. Now it's self-myofascial release. So what those two things will do is pretty much help alleviate knots or get rid of knots, right? It also help speed up your recovery process. Now it's not gonna feel great, especially if you're already sore. It's gonna hurt a little bit, but there's nothing negative that's happening when you're doing this, right? Only in the extreme cases, which we won't cover this time. But for the most part, you're just trying to get the muscle to move in the direction it's supposed to function in, right? So getting rid of the knots will help create that proper function and also create more mobility throughout the joint. And to get more specific into an area, you could trigger point. Now you could grab a softball, that's what I have here, lacrosse ball, baseball, whatever. So for the trigger pointing specifically, it's more in closer to the joint. So what I showed was my chest, my hip flexors, my lat, and also my glutes, right? You could also foam roll those areas, but you have to understand when you're foam rolling versus trigger pointing, when you're foam rolling, you're covering a lot larger area, and it's not so direct in one area, right? So you're spreading out the same force over a distance versus more localized force in one area. So trigger pointing, it's gonna be a little bit more aggressive. You're gonna really dig into certain areas, especially if you tend to have problems. Now these two things alone could be something that solves your injuries or your aches that you might have. I've had many clients that have had lower back pains, shoulder pains, etc. And with this alone and with stretching, they feel 10 times better, right? So you have to find out if this may work. But also you could use it as part of a warm-up or just a day that you have off to recover, to get yourself back to normal function in your muscles and tendons and ligaments. So each area you want to do about 20 to 30 seconds, and you want to make sure you go in all angles. So if I'm getting my quad, I don't just want to go up and down. I want to go a little bit on the inside, a little bit on the outside. And there's also some things that I didn't get. I didn't foam roll my adductors. I didn't foam roll my hamstrings, my calves. You could also include those. You could pretty much foam roll any part of your body, right? Just go nice and smooth. If you find the area, and this is the same with trigger point, if you find an area that's really tender, then kind of like stay and slowly move throughout that area. And if you can, move certain muscles in certain directions. So for example, if I'm doing this, I was doing this on the ground, right? That's just to kind of like move around my pecs, my pec major and minor, throughout that series of motions. Also here, I have a lot of muscles right there, right? And so do you. So there's a lot of muscles and insertions that go into that area, so you want to move it in different planes so it's getting the full range that it should be working at. If you guys have any questions or need more help with this or more details, please send me an email at easyfitnesslife@gmail.com, or you could find me on social media, on Facebook, Instagram, at easyfitnesslife, or comment here on this video. All right. I hope this helped, and you guys have fun foam rolling and trigger pointing. Take care, guys.